Do you ever feel like you're chasing your tail? Can't find things, doing things twice, having to reinvent the wheel every time you do something? Being disorganised can be not only annoying, but really inefficient. Time when you're not hustling for business is time wasted. Along with Kat Paz in the studio, our resident small business expert. Hi, Kat.
Hi.
We've got Carolyn Verhoeven, organiser and declutterer extraordinaire, and she's here to help with that. Hi, Caroline.
Hey, how you going?
Pretty good. Thanks very much for coming to Taking Care of Business. Now, we know you've got some really great intel on how to be more organised. So what are the signs of being disorganised?
For me, I think the signs of being disorganised is when you're actually not doing all the things that you need to do, not necessarily want to do, because we all want to do everything, don't we? We want to actually get way more done than we actually can do. But the things you need to do, if you're not getting those things done and things are getting in your way of getting the things you need to get done, that's when there's a sure sign of disorganisation going on.
Okay, so if you're not having time to hustle, not time to go out there and go networking or do that, you're disorganised. Something's going wrong.
Whatever it is you need to do to reach the goals you need to reach.
Got that.
That's a good definition. Yeah.
I like being concise.
Yeah.
And simple.
I don't know what I expected. I don't know, I guess. You could see your carpet or something. I'm an accountant, so that's a rare thing. You can't see your carpet.
I've seen lots of accountants where you can't see the office floor.
A lot of houses as well. Oh, my goodness. So where do we start getting organised, Carolyn?
Where do we start? Oh, my gosh. So I think that is the actual start, is really knowing where it is you're going. Because if you don't know where you're going, you can't actually get there. So first of all, what is the level of organisation you want to reach?
Oh, what do you mean by that?
Okay, so organisation to me, and I found this is the best way for most people to access what type of organisation they want, is on a continuum. There's complete disorder and there's complete, perfection.
Okay.
And that is the place between those two things where you feel most comfortable, most productive, and succeeding in the way that you want to succeed. So that's the main thing, is knowing where you want to be in that continuum, not giving in to the shoulds. Don't we all give in to the should?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, and beating yourself up about, I should be like this, I should be like that person.
Yes, I should have, this many customers this week. I should have all my tax done by July, 1.
Sorry, I thought you were cracking a joke there.
No, I was. So not giving into those and looking at the goals and being able to set a time frame to those. So getting organised is about knowing where that is for you.
Rightio, okay. So
I know it's very abstract.
It is, but that's okay. Don't feel bad. Basically, don't feel bad. Wherever you are, it's a continuum.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, I like that. I like that mental image. It's a continuum. Don't feel bad about the shoulds. So you've seen a lot of small businesses. What are the things that they mainly need help organising?
Mainly their time. It's the time and the productivity, because small business, they're doing everything. Aren't they? I'm a small business person. I know exactly what it's like. And you're doing everything. You're the marketer. You're the accountant.
Yeah.
You're the bookkeeper. You're also the product supervisor. You're the service operator. You're
Cleaner,
everything.
Repairman.
Yeah,
I know how to
everything.
change a bulb. I know how to connect computers to screens.
Exactly.
All because of doing all of that.
Yeah, you're even usually a website builder and a social media entrepreneur.
Yes.
You're everything. So time is the thing that they most struggle with, is fitting everything in. And most importantly, fitting it in with having a life at the same time. Yeah.
So what's your top tip for getting your time organised?
Top tip for time?
Top tip for time.
Top tip for time is something that everybody doesn't do and everybody already knows, and that is you must keep a priority to-do list that is for today only. Most people use a to-do list that's a mile long, a million things, all on, like all those things I just talked about.
Yeah.
And that then turns into, oh my God, what do I do next? So we need to prioritise, but only make the list for today. That is the biggest mistake. Most people make the list for, 10 weeks.
That is hard. That is hard. I get a to-do list and I put, as soon as I think of something, I put it on the list. Otherwise, I forget, 5 second to 2 second memory. Whoops, there's a sparkly thing. Off she goes. So do you have run two lists, one general list, and then you've got this is everything I need to do, and then this is my today's list?
Okay, so the most effective way is to have a today list and then a project master. So making all of those things that you go, I must do that for that project, which it's not a today thing, and adding it into that project, either online or on paper, it doesn't matter. I am not for one or the other. It's what works for you. And that project list then becomes, all those projects then become, well, what's the priority right now? What's going to get me to my goal of what I need to do in the business right now out of all of those projects? So you might be working on 4 projects in one day, but it's only one tiny task out of each that goes on that to-do list today.
I guess that will help when you get those calls or emails that say it's urgent and it's come through at 3 p.m. that day. At least you're able to kind of take a deep breath and go, you know what, that's not on today's list. That will have to go on project list.
Yes.
Because I think for me, that's when I first started business. I thought I needed an extra set of hands, and I already had 8 on my back. And, I felt I needed to react straight away. So that's really a good tip. I guess it's easy to say, this is how I work and this is the only way I can stay sane.
Absolutely. And unfortunately, everybody's emails are urgent these days for some reason.
They all come with that asterisk. I'm like, where's the asterisk if it doesn't come with it?
It's like spam if it is not.
Yeah, exactly.
But I really like that type. Make a to-do list each day. I know, because you're a big fan of celebrating the wins, Carolyn, and that's also a great way of feeling like you've made progress, is having a list and crossing things off. And if you just have one for today, I have a giant list.
And that's the other thing, is that overwhelm from a giant list only causes procrastination and takes you down another rabbit hole. So keeping a list of just a few things really makes you ultra productive. And there is all those things that come in from those emails and phone calls that you don't know are coming. And sometimes they are urgent. Sometimes they are things you have to jump on. So you've got to allow the time in each day for those to happen as well. There are a few advocates that are extraordinarily successful entrepreneurs that say that they achieved all their business goals by only having 3 things on their list every day.
Wow.
How do you do that? Maybe it's an all-encompassing thing. What is that thing? Like build website? Is that a thing on your list?
That's an all-day thing.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about being effective in those things,
Wow, that's a little bit of a paradigm shift, isn't it?
Yes.
But that's a great tip. Just have a daily to-do list.
Yeah.
Excellent. Kat's writing this down. I love that. Right. What's next on your things that we can do to get ourselves organised, Carolyn?
So the other thing, apart from that knowing what to do, is actually creating the space to do it. And I mean the physical space. So there is a huge amount of research out there from neuroscience and psychology researchers about keeping clear space and how that actually makes us hugely productive. There's no distraction. The mind is able to focus more. We even are able to access more parts of the lateral thinking and all that sort of thing when we have clear space to work in. When it's cluttered, we are distracted. Basically, we still have our primitive brain at work, and it will take over with all those, hundreds of pieces of paper and files lying everywhere.
Yeah, well, I keep all of those pieces of paper around because, that's a reminder for me to do this. That's a reminder for me to do that. If I put it away, I'm just going to forget about it.
Yeah, my office is organised in the sense that my drawers are empty. The contents are visible.
Yeah.
And people now know if there's something that Kat needs to see, put it on her keyboard or on her chair.
Yes.
Otherwise, if you just put it somewhere, I won't know. I won't see. Or stick it on the screen.
Yeah. So that's probably the third tip that I would say for businesses is really helpful in that there needs to be systemising of that. And you're using visual cues to help you stay organised at the current moment. So the problem with that is that a visual cue is only good if you can see them.
True.
So what happens when someone puts 2 pieces of paper and then another 3 people put more pieces of paper?
That's my partner, actually. It drives me nuts.
So you only visually are cued by the thing on top.
Yeah, and I tell people to then put it on the places I want them to, because that way you're not missing my vision.
Yes.
But my partner just goes, mail. Or I say, have you seen this piece of paper? I just put it on your desk. Where? On your desk. I find a spot. Yes.
So having a system for how things move, whether that's digital or paper, it doesn't matter. It's the same thing, is really what you need to look at. So, and when I say systemising, it's actually having folders that are actions, not descriptions.
Okay.
So that's my biggest giveaway for your audience today.
Okay, what
And
do you
for
mean? What do you mean folders that are actions, not descriptions?
So let's take something really, really simple like a bill. It comes in, and where do you put bills in the file that says bills?
Bills.
Okay, what's the action?
Nothing.
Exactly.
I just think of Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child. Okay. Tell us more.
Oh, there's that song from Destiny's Child. Can you pay my bills? Can you pay my telephone bills?
Ah, yeah.
That one. Sorry. It's my mind's spinning. Jane, don't look at me like that.
My mouth is open. I put bills, for instance, I put bills on a pile that's to pay, and then there's another pile to file if I haven't got around to it, and then they're filed into wherever they're going.
Yeah.
But I don't have a bills file.
Yeah. So rather than having a pile or file, doesn't matter, that is just bills, is that what's the action for a bill?
You're paying it or you're filing it?
Well, it's to pay. The first action is always to pay. If you don't pay, you'll get another one.
Yeah. Sometimes, yeah.
And another.
And another.
And then a really big one.
Yeah.
Like,
why aren't the lights turning on?
Yeah. So that's a really simple way of explaining it. But if you have actions in files that are visible, actually I just wrote a blog on all of that, so you can see that very soon. So
we'll put a link to that up on the Facebook page.
It's very visual. I've put a lot of visual response type people, types of ways to organise on there, because a lot of people are very visual and they get the shoulds. It should be filed. No, it doesn't have to be filed. Sorry.
Oh, it doesn't have to be filed.
No.
Hang on, our ears pricked up. It doesn't have to be filed.
It doesn't have to be filed.
I'll give you a little statistic. If anyone loves statistics, I quite like statistics.
I do.
Only about 20% of everything you file you ever look at ever again in your entire life.
Do you know that's a lot higher than I thought it would be?
Oh, yeah.
I have thrown out a whole file. Recently, I found my tax return from 2008. Cringe. I don't even know what I reported in it. And it was at the bottom of a box that had my jersey from when I was at uni. So, I'm killing you, aren't I? Because I'm about to move house. So we're starting with the cobwebs and moving into the disaster. So, yeah. No, this has been good. I think that's the best takeaway for me. Yeah.
Yeah. So, don't fall into the shoulds. And that's really how I help people, is we organise to their style, their personality.
That's great. I really like that. I think we'll leave it there. We'll all feel better about being a little disorganised, and not going to beat ourselves up. And I think that's also really important, because that's part of procrastinating that you were saying. You feel bad about not being more organised.
Yeah. So and I'm not successful, or I'm not a real business, or there's all of these things goes around in small business people's heads, and just let that go and get on with it.
just let it go, get on with it. You don't have to be super organised, just a little bit. But and that daily to-do list is fantastic. Have your major ones, sort all those into projects, and have your daily to-do list. That's great. Okay, we're going to have you back, Carolyn, because I reckon you can make us a lot more organised and efficient and effective. Yeah, let's hustle. Excellent. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Carolyn Verhoef, declutterer and organiser extraordinaire and Kat Baz.
Yeah. I've been exposed.
Oh my God. She was very uncomfortable in that. That's great. Taking care of business. We'll be back next week at 10:30. Thanks for tuning in.